Okay, we've got to talk about the mysterious structures under the pyramid. This stuff is wild, guys. I love it. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Yeah, is this Atlantis disclosure? Is that what we're looking at here? Oh, I love it, guys. This is awesome. Of course, not everybody is so enthusiastic. A lot of people are rightly questioning this and saying, well, we don't understand the science behind this. This is a novel application of this technology developed by these researchers that are revealing this information. You know, how can we rely on this information? We need corroboration. And absolutely, we do. We need to see the raw data. We need to let other people look at this. Yeah, so let's just listen to what Professor Simon has to say here. I'll link to the full video, but here's a little section of it.
Sensor, why would they have access to it, that can measure the vibrations of the Earth, that can form a picture deep inside the Earth? Well, I don't think these two researchers have their own satellite program. And if it is on a satellite, tell us which satellite and what is the system that they're using. And I don't fully understand the vibration theory and to the level of visual detail that they're publishing. So that's...
Yeah, so yeah, he's saying, you know, how can they have mapped this thing 2 kilometers underground with this satellite technology? Nobody's ever done this before. It doesn't seem feasible. Hey, totally good point. We need to understand the science behind all of this. However, he does go on to say that once they do reveal the data, then more eyes can get on this and examine it honestly and have a more robust conversation about it. So he doesn't say that this is all bogus. He just says we need more information. And absolutely we do 110%. I'm not saying this is real either. This could all turn out to be a big fun nothing burger, but it is a fun nothing burger. Yeah, I mean, it is fun. It is fun. Hopefully it is not a nothing burger. But yeah, a Funny Old World interviewed the source for this information, Trevor Grassi, who is friendly with the researchers. And he came on and he had some really interesting stuff to say. It's over a half-hour long interview, and I'll let you watch the full thing at your leisure. But here's a couple of little snippets that he had to say.
We haven't seen what leads them to make those models the way they are yet, but that will all be in the final. But it is beginning to look like it's part of a generator, part of a machine somehow. And a lot of people are agreeing on that.
So yeah, so he says we will get the information, we will get the science behind all of this that is indeed coming out in the very near future. So I can't wait for that. You know, various other people are talking about it, but let's go to one other clip from Trevor.
Yeah, they're going to, I don't know exactly what they'll cover, but it's probably going to be a lot of the information. It's mostly going to be covering the skeptics coming at the process, because the synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography technique and method is very new. So it's going to have a lot of technical, concerns coming at it, which Filippo Biondi is going to be just tearing through. He's not going to have any problem defending.
Yeah, apparently Biondi is the technical guy, the radar expert, and the other fella is the more woo guy. He's the one that's been researching abductions and so on. Yeah, Corrado Malanga. This is the part of the press conference, the hour-long press conference, and it is in Italian, but I will read a little bit of it for you. The subtitles, I'm afraid the subtitles may be getting cut off with my screen grabber. But yeah, the researchers are saying that actually there's no funny business here, that the science behind this is just so obvious that once people see it, it will be like they're taking a photo of something and everybody can agree that there is a subject there of that photo. Here, I'll just let them explain it.
Il risultato è questo.
Yeah, okay, let me mute it. The result is this: there are some things you see, this research does not have to be proven. It is not that we have to wait for other types of work or other scientists who can declare it true, because they are photographs. and I photographed the Tower of Pisa, and it is not that I need 500 other people to photograph the Tower of Pisa to say there is a Tower of Pisa. So this research already has, as it is, foresees that this data is real. But what does this mean? It means that someone built something at 1,200 meters depth. We want to believe that it was still the ancient Egyptians. Well, if we want to ask, believe it because it... Anyway, he's saying it's not the ancient Egyptians. And I have to agree. I don't think there's any way you can get there from here. If this is real, if this is all real, if these structures are real, now going down 2 kilometers deep, and there's a suggestion also that this isn't just under the Khafre pyramid, but this is under all of the pyramids, and that they're all linked underground by tunnels. So this could be the underground city that we're talking about, or that they're talking about. But yeah, he goes into some of the science. He talks a lot about stuff. They seem very open to field questions from skeptics, and they talk about some pretty crazy stuff. Is this a generator? Is that thing underground some sort of power generator? It's unclear. We're still in the fog of war on all of this. It's so exciting. I want this to be real. I really do. But the full data has not come out yet. It is coming out in the very near future, like I said. Again, they are very open to the skeptics and willing to field comments from the skeptics, which is exactly what we need. We need to drill down on the truth of what this structure is, or potentially these structures are. What are we dealing with? Is this real? Is this real data? Is it just as he says, like looking at a photo, and everybody can agree that, yeah, that's the Tower of Pisa, or in this case, the underground pre-Egyptian city built by Atlanteans, or whatever the hell we're talking about here. Did Thoth build this thing? Is it a power generator? Oh, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? What is this thing? You think anybody will ever get eyes on this thing? If this thing exists, it would be very easy to find out. Surely, if we train some ground penetrating radar at just one of these shafts, and if we got a hit, then we can say, boom, there's a shaft under that pyramid, right where this SAR technology said it was supposed to be. Remote viewing seems to be able to corroborate at least some of this. Shane Frakes, an experiencer of the GATE program, says this pyramid situation isn't going to turn out the way people think or hope. If you can remote sense or remote view, I encourage you to take a look for yourself. To which Daz Smith replied, I and others already have going back 40 years. The majority of remote viewers describe underground rooms and structures. Is the thing underground esoteric? Are we looking at the halls of Amenti or something like that? Or are these shafts in blocks underground, 2 kilometers underground, strictly functional? The researchers do address that. They say that some of these structures serve to support the pyramid because we have done static calculations and we have seen that the pyramid Khafre weighs a lot. And to hold it up, you need a base, and because otherwise it goes down into the sand and it goes down, the calculations show that substantially. In better of years, these structures have gone down more or less half a meter. The builders have evidently foreseen that you can't build a pyramid on the sand, and then underneath it, it is necessary to build pillars that somehow reach the granite at the bottom and that support a plate that tomorrow we will show exists, that supports on which the pyramid was built. So there you go. So they're suggesting that these huge shafts could be pylons that support the weight of the pillar. Maybe they're hollow because, you have to go through sand and it's hard to get something that's not hollow to go down there, or through rock and earth. Is that what we're looking at? Or is there a more esoteric explanation for this? Some sort of generating mechanism, some sort of power generator. Either way, the fact that these do go 2 kilometers underground, if indeed that is a fact, definitely blows any mainstream archaeological explanation out of the water. The ancient Egyptians would not have been able to do that based on the technology that mainstream archaeology says that they had. So this, either way, even if there is a mundane explanation for this structure, if it really does exist, it's not so mundane. They go on to say that if the pyramids did in fact serve a stabilizing purpose, they may also have served multiple other purposes. They don't go into specifically what they're talking about, but they do go into the emerald tablets and talk about the halls of Amenti. The emerald tablets were the precise references to these wells that go deep that were built. In the verse, it speaks of the children of light. We do not know who they are, but the data remains objective of the presence of these wells that go deep, as well as the boxes that were spoken of before that were described in these times as rooms with the size of space. So just to underline how enormous these rooms were, in addition, there is a further reference to the Egyptian Book of the Dead, in particular in chapter 149, where there is a description, let's say, of these rooms, not extremely precise. In fact, it speaks of 14 residences, but only some of these are discrete. That seemed to assume, let's say, from the reconstruction of the precise connotations that leave us as if to say they give us a relative certainty that we are talking about some rooms. And my hypothesis, that however must be evaluated from a historical point of view, is that about 13,500 years ago, following a cataclysmic event, of which we have almost all the Reformation today, and that was then reproduced by scientific works, measured so substantially 13,500 years ago, roughly we have what we call inverse, that is an object or more objects fell on our planet, also modifying the structure of the Earth's axis. So yeah, talking about the Younger Dryas theory and the cataclysm that ended Atlantis, talking about the emerald tablets, drawing information from the Egyptian Book of the Dead that apparently describes underground structures that may correspond to what they're finding right now. More answers are shortly going to come out in the next week or so. I'm really pumped about that. I'll have my eyes on that. If you see it before I do, let me know. But there you go. Skeptics are questioning this, as they should. We need to corroborate this information. We need to know that this is legit. Because if this is legit, this is huge. Big if true, guys. Big if true. But if it is true, if what we're looking at with this data is just as obvious as looking at the subject of a photograph, if it really is that obvious, then we are looking at possibly the smoking gun for Atlantis, or something akin to Atlantis. We are looking at a game changer in human understanding of history and technology. This is nuts, guys. This is nuts. I love it. I don't know where this is going to go, but I really hope that if this is real, that in the very near future, we can get excavations going down to this thing. I mean, if there's, giant shafts with stairwells going down to chambers underground that are then linked potentially to other chambers, are those still accessible? Are those all filled with sand now? Is it, earthquakes, land shifting over time? Has it Is it all filled with sand or rock? I guess because obviously the sand is just the top level of what we're talking about, and under that it would be the bedrock. So yeah, is it still intact? Can you get access to these shafts? Can you get access to these deep chambers? If they're resonating, does that mean they're hollow? This technology is supposed to map out hollow areas. So if it is getting a hit on those chambers deep underground, does that mean they're hollow? Does that mean they're still accessible and you could potentially go into the halls of a Minty or the whatever is down there and see it for ourselves, right? It is awesome, guys. I love it, but it's early days yet. It's early days. We have only heard from the research team so far. We need other people to look at this data and interpret it. Maybe they will have completely different interpretations of it. But let me know where you are with this crazy story. This is huge, huge. Big if true, guys. Big if true. Is this the smoking gun for Atlantis? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Or is it a big, fun nothing burger that will go nowhere? Like and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified of future videos. Check me out on Rumble, Discord, Twitter, and Facebook. Buy a t-shirt, buy a coffee mug, grab one of my books. I'm a novelist. Become a channel member because channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate your support. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.